Welcome to Investero. Imagine being able to build $1 million retirement portfolio without needing a six-figure salary, a risky investment strategy, or perfect timing in the market. The truth is, with consistency, patience, and the right investments, it's absolutely possible. One of the most powerful strategies is as simple as setting aside $100 each week and investing it into a carefully chosen set of exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. By doing this consistently over decades, the power of compounding and market growth can turn small, steady contributions into life-changing wealth. Let us break down how this works, and which 3 ETFs have the potential to make you a millionaire by retirement. The first ETF that should be on every investor's radar is the S&P 500 Index ETF, such as SPY or VU. The S&P 500 tracks the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the U.S., representing giants like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Johnson & Johnson. For decades, the S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of around 10%. That might not sound like much, but compounded over decades, it's incredibly powerful. If you invest $100 every week, that's about $5,200 per year. Over 30 years, at a 10% average annual return. The second ETF worth investing in is a total stock market ETF, such as VTI or ITOT. Unlike the S&P 500, which only tracks large-cap companies, a total stock market ETF includes thousands of U.S. companies of all sizes: large-cap, mid-cap, and small-cap. This gives you broader diversification and exposure to companies that might not be household names today, but could grow into the giants of tomorrow. Historically, the total stock market has performed very similarly to the S&P 500, but with slightly more exposure to high-growth small and mid-sized businesses. Including this in your portfolio ensures that you're not just betting on the current leaders, but also on the next generation of innovators. The third ETF to consider is an international stock market ETF, such as VXUS or IXUS. While U.S. companies dominate the global market, there are massive growth opportunities abroad. Emerging economies in Asia, Africa, and Latin America are expanding rapidly, with rising middle classes, growing tech sectors, and increasing demand for modern goods and services. By including an international ETF, you're ensuring that your investments are not entirely dependent on the U.S. market. This provides diversification, reduces risk, and allows you to benefit from global economic growth. Think about companies like Samsung in South Korea, in Switzerland, or Toyota in Japan. These are world-class businesses that you'd be able to access through a global ETF. Now let's put it all together. If you were to invest $100 a week split evenly across these 3 ETFs, that's about $33 into the S&P 500, $33 into a total stock market ETF, and $33 into an international ETF, you'd be building a balanced, diversified portfolio. Over time, these investments compound. With an average annual return of 8 to 10%, that weekly $100 contribution could grow into well over $1 million in 35 years. And if you're able to contribute more over time as your income grows, you can reach millionaire status even faster. What makes this strategy so powerful isn't just the ETFs themselves, but the discipline and consistency. Many people think they need to time the market perfectly, picking the exact right moment to buy. In reality, consistently investing over time, known as dollar cost averaging, smooths out the ups and downs of the market. When prices are high, your weekly $100 buys fewer shares. When prices are low, it buys more. Over decades, this strategy allows you to take advantage of market volatility instead of fearing it. Another benefit is that ETFs have extremely low fees compared to actively managed mutual funds. For example, VU and VTI have expense ratios as low as 0.03%. That means for every $10,000 you invest, you're only paying $3 in fees per year. Over decades, keeping fees low can save you tens of thousands of dollars and significantly boost your final portfolio value. Of course, like any investment strategy, this isn't without risk. The stock market will go through cycles. There will be years when your portfolio declines in value, sometimes dramatically, but historically, over the long run, the market has always recovered and continued to grow. The key is staying invested and not letting short-term fear derail your long-term plan. Think about it like planting a tree. Each $100 investment is a seed. Alone, it might not look like much. But over decades, those seeds grow into a forest of wealth, compounding and multiplying. By the time you retire, you'll have not just a portfolio, but a financial legacy built from small, consistent actions. So if your goal is to retire a millionaire, you don't need to win the lottery. Start a billion-dollar company or gamble on risky investments. You just need to commit to investing $100 a week into a diversified mix of ETFs. Stay consistent and let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. The earlier you start, the more powerful the results. Even if you can't commit the full $100 right now, starting with something is better than waiting. Every dollar invested today has decades to grow. This is the kind of wealth-building strategy that works not just in theory, but in practice. It's been proven time and again by investors who stayed the course, trusted the process, and let compounding work its magic. The best time to start was yesterday. Second best time is today. Subscribe to Investero.